What if history's most famously passive literary sidekick was actually the smartest, most fiercely protective man on the river? A towering New York Times bestseller, an official editor's pick, and a monumental Pulitzer Prize winner, James is Percival Everett's absolute masterpiece. This brilliant, high-stakes reimagining of Mark Twain's adventures of Huckleberry Finn flips a classic American narrative on its head, replacing the comfortable myths of the antebellum South with a blistering, deeply moving, and fiercely funny epic of agency, identity, and the radical power of language. The narrative shifts our focus entirely to James, who introduces himself immediately by his true name, James. In the presence of white people, James and his fellow enslaved friends carefully perform the exaggerated, uneducated slave dialect expected of them, a strategic survival mechanic they deliberately teach to their children like a dangerous foreign language. But the moment the white folks step out of earshot, James drops the mask to reveal a hyper-intelligent, deeply philosophical intellectual who debates the finer points of Voltaire, John Locke, and Rousseau in flawless, elegant English. When James discovers he is about to be sold downriver to New Orleans, permanently separating him from his beloved wife and daughter, he takes his destiny into his own hands and escapes to Jackson Island. There, his path collides with young Huck Finn, who has faked his own death to escape his abusive father. As the duo boards a raft and begins their iconic journey down the Mississippi River, Everett follows the familiar geography of Twain's original text while completely subverting its emotional core. We see the unfolding chaos strictly through James's eyes, transforming a whimsical boyhood adventure into a tense, high-stakes thriller about a man navigating a minefield of tracking dogs, bounty hunters, and casual atrocities to secure freedom for his family. The journey hits a uniquely bizarre, satirical peak when James is briefly separated from Huck and forced to sing in an absurd undercover minstrel show, holding on to his sanity by writing his true thoughts on precious scraps of paper with a stolen pencil. James is a staggering literary achievement that manages to be simultaneously devastating and riotously funny. Everett writes with a razor-sharp, accessible wit that exposes the deep psychological absurdity of racism without ever losing sight of the visceral, physical horrors of slavery. Propelled by an extraordinary, award-winning audiobook performance that masterfully handles the linguistic gymnastics of James's internal and external voices, this magnificent novel does not merely update a classic, it completely reclaims it, cementing James not as a tragic symbol of endurance, but as an unforgettable, self-determined American hero.